And we are back. This time we have a France versus France showdown.
Yeah.
This is the match that we didn't quite expect to see this early.
We were hoping we didn't see it. This is just, they're victims of the random seeding. Because
Indeed.
that's just the way MLG rolls. I mean, I was talking to some of the StarCraft players, like some of the EG guys, and they were like, yeah, that's just how it is. You have to deal with it. I mean, it is what it is. It's the way the tournaments run because they seed only based on MLG events.
Right, and of course, the rules were known before the tournament. These players knew what they were getting themselves into. And it's a little unfortunate, but we now have a second match, two of the very top players for France. It's going to be a very good one. And it's gonna sort of set the pace, I think, for the rest of the tournament because these are two of the best players here.
Yeah. Well, the winner of this match is going to be the person to beat in the winner's bracket.
Most definitely.
I mean, that's it. I mean, we have the two heavy hitters from France showing off. Whichever one bench presses more is now the guy to beat.
Pretty much. And
or
of
lady
course,
to beat.
Of course, we've talked a little bit about Kayane earlier on. What do you know about Keev?
Keev is a character loyalist. He was playing Nightmare in games where people said Nightmare was horrible, unplayable trash, like Soul Calibur 4. Everyone in America was convinced Nightmare was absolutely horrible and shouldn't win anything. And then Keev is just over in France, like, whatever, I'm going to win majors. I don't care. And now...
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and now he even started a Nightmare bandwagon. Because the same thing happened in Soul 5. In Soul 5, people were like, yeah, Nightmare isn't that good. I mean, on paper, he's not that good. He's really unsafe. But when you get him in a match, he's got a really good backstep. He has tons of range, and he does tons of damage. So it's like if you get in there, he might just start hemorrhaging life because you block things. But half the time, if his spacing is good, you block them out of range of your punish attacks.
Well, do you think you could say maybe that Soul Calibur 5 is a game that, despite the weaknesses of characters, the players can sort of plan around that?
Yes. The game engine is really good in that you can't really lame it out in any way, shape, or form. People have been trying, and no one has really found a way to lame the game out.
Right. I mean, it seems like a very balanced game when you can take characters like this that are so bad on paper and, sort of formulate your game plan to work around that.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's just factors in the game that people don't always realize.
Well, now I have to ask you. I've been asking you every time, but this time I really mean it. Who do you think is going to win?
I want to see Kayane win, but I think Keev has a matchup advantage. This would be one of those times I wouldn't be surprised if she switched to Natsu.
I see. So what do you like about Nightmare over Leisha?
He can backstep out of her mix-ups in a lot of situations.
I see.
So there's a lot of points.
Big.
Yeah, that is really big because she's a mix-up-based character. She's a rushdown-based character. And a lot of it's going to come down to stage. I really feel like if Nightmare pulls an infinite stage, he has a really big advantage.
Because he can just backdash all day and not have any fear about ring-outs.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're in any other stage that's not infinite, now he can't always backstep because if he keeps backstepping, you can corner him. Now he's going to have his back to a wall, and you can turn that backstepping against him, especially with Leisha. She has tons of ring-out tools, and especially she has tons of wall damage as well. So regardless of what stage it is, as long as there's walls or edges, Leisha can get in there. But at the same point in time, it's on the Leisha player to corner Nightmare.
Got it. So it's going to be on the onus of Kayane sort of to put the pressure on, determine the pace of the match, etc.
Yes, it really is. Because Nightmare sets the pace of his match by standing there.
Wow.
That's just the way it is. I mean, that's it. You have so much range. Like, Nightmare has a huge range advantage.
Right, he's just a scary character.
Exactly, and Keev is the best Nightmare in the world. Like, bar none. He's been the best Nightmare in the world since Soul 4, when everyone else dropped him.
Wow.
That's one of those things. It's just like, yeah, he looks bad on paper, but if you create a smart enough game plan, Soul Calibur is a game where you can run it.
So historically, it's been a long time for me, but I remember when Soul Calibur 2 was at Evolution Championships a long time ago, there was a Soul Calibur player, Dan the Nightmare. Was that him?
Yes, Dan the Nightmare.
So is he still around?
He now actually plays Siegfried, but he is still Dan the Nightmare. He is still around. I heard he was doing some work in France, but he's kind of unhappy with the new iteration of Siegfried. He's been playing Yoshimitsu instead.
Interesting.
And that has gotten mixed results.
Okay.
Like, I haven't been keeping a close enough eye on the French scene to really say how he's been doing, but he hasn't been blowing up like top 3 finishes at any of their big tournaments that I've seen.
Well, good to hear he's still around. I remember him visiting the U.S. a long time ago at Evolution, back when it was at Cal Poly University.
Yeah, oh, wow, Evo
Yeah.
before Vegas.
Yeah.
I can't
Did
even
that even happen?
I can't comprehend that. Vegas and Evo are one and the same in my mind.
Yeah, I do have a spotless Evolution attendance record. So I attended the first one at UCLA
Really? Oh my
in
God.
2002.
How
And
did you manage that? Didn't you spend time in Japan? Like
I did.
extended
I actually
periods of time?
spent a year in Japan near Tokyo in 2005, 2006 when I was studying Japanese.
So you flew back for Evo?
Well, that's a funny story. Coincidentally, I flew back for some family issues that happened to be going down around the same time as Evo, and I stayed an extra weekend
It
to
was
go
fated
to Evo
that
that
you
year.
must make it to every Evo.
It is. It
It's
appears
in
to be
the cards.
fated.
The stars have aligned, and Fubarduck and Evo must congregate on a yearly basis.
So yeah, very proud of that. Evolution, of course, one of the most hyped tournaments ever.
Yes, I love Evo. Actually, one of my favorite Evo memories, I wasn't even there. I was outside smoking, and Justin lost to Vangeef, and I forget what year that was.
Oh yeah, I think that was
at Caesars.
2000.
Because there was at the bottom of the escalator, 2 floors
That
down.
was 2010.
And the hotel was like rumbling. I thought it was like a minor earthquake. No, the fighting game community is just that hype. Esports.
Yeah, that was also the year that we had trouble starting on time because President Obama happened to be in Las Vegas giving a speech or something. And so there was like Secret Service all around the hotel, and they're like, okay, you got to be here at 9 a.m. And people were like, we can't get into the hotel. There's Secret Service everywhere.
Yeah, the guy with the gun says, I can't enter. How do you deal with that one?
Yeah, good times.
Unblockable cross-ups.
It's going to be back at Caesars this year, so I'm really
Yes,
looking
I'm
forward to
hyped.
that.
I'm really hyped that it's on the Strip again.
Yeah, me too.
But at the same time, the Rio had a nice feel because since there wasn't a lot of other places to go, the hotel was just full of gamers. Whereas at Caesars, it's a bigger place, so they're more spread out, and it's on the Strip, so people are going all up and down the Strip.
Well, you know, I think that's one of the things that makes the fighting game community tournaments so fun is that it's just a gathering of players all in one place. So, you know, no matter what, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes. Not as much fun as we're about to have now.
That's right.
Because we get to see French face off. Let's go.
Two of the top French players, Kayane on the 1P side, Keev on 2P side with Nightmare. And let's see what kind of stage we got.
Yeah, we have circular stage, walls on all sides.
Okay, well, that's good for Kayane.
Yes. It's also a rather big stage. It's not cramped. So Keev is going to have room to maneuver, but he's going to have to control the side-to-side positioning to make sure his spacing doesn't get him cornered.
Okay.
That's what it's really going to come down to. Kayane getting in there, scoring first blood. You see how far she has to run in to get at him? Oh. All right. All right. And now Keev has been unable to score damage. Smart sidestep, though. All right, and now it's looking rather even, but Lay Shot already showing that guard damage.
And now hanging on by a thread here. Nice block on that low.
Most definitely, and that's the round.
And she takes it. Wow.
I was hanging on by a hair. But at the same time, she really needed that round because the guard damage is really going to start to accumulate, and she's probably going to get broken in the next round or two. Oh, she did that down A, anticipating Nightmare was going to immediately push a button, and he waited. She whiffed. He took the punish. Smart play by Keev.
And Kayane almost down to half-life with red guard meter now.
All right. Playing real smart, though. She's staying even out of Nightmare's range. So now she can play the spacing game and not be in danger of always being Nightmare throwing out random buttons. And that is going to be really
that great
cool. There it is.
Combo into critical edge. Totally worth the meter. Closes out the rounds.
Oh, yeah. That is the greatest meter usage ever. And I actually think she got that meter during the combo itself.
Wow. So she really was calculating. She knew exactly how much she was going to have during the combo.
Very good awareness of the new systems in the game. Now, Keev is getting in there. He's playing that aggressive Nightmare. See, this is what you don't see a lot of in America. Because Keev, he's got the backstep runaway, but he's also got the I'm going to run in your face, and I'm going to make you guess. Oh, there we go. Another player blowing up that slow low but with jumping attacks. Taking down this round, striking back against Kayane. Oh, Nightmare with that huge range.
And there's the
that
back break.
is huge damage. Oh my god.
Wow.
Wall combos. Punch, punch. Instant. That's beautiful.
Oh, that is so scary.
He just topped off his bar with that move. That gives him an ace in the bar.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Perfect. Filling up his meter. Kayane taking a breath.
Yes. Gonna recompose herself and try and take control back. And this is the perfect way to do it. She has tons of meter to spend, and oh, that's a beautiful side
nice
step.
side step.
All right, getting that damage in there. Spending that meter, getting him under half life. Now, Kayane is just a couple guesses away from taking this round down, but so is Keev because Nightmare damage is insane.
And he has all that meter at this
Yes.
point.
Speaking of that meter, Nightmare is another character with a counter super.
Okay.
Except his is unlike Ziva, where it loses and throws, but it parries blows. And I'll talk about it after we see. Wow!
Yes. Wow.
Throws
Good throw
crazy
tag.
hits. That leaves you at dead even. There
And
it is.
that's it.
Bam!
Oh my god, that was so close.